It's like a bunch of like birdseed. You can take birdseed and sprout it, but they say don't do it because a lot of the seed in birdseed is tomato seed, and if humans eat tomato plant sprouts, or the only thing off that, because it's from the nightshade family, the only thing off of the tomato plant we as humans can consume is the fruit. If we eat the leaves or the sprouts or anything, you'll get fucking deathly ill. We're talking about, I had these 2 tomatoes and I moved them over here, and Colin said, oh, those look like good tomatoes. I said, they look like good tomatoes, but they have no smell. Like a really good tomato, you'll be able to smell it a ways away. And they gas tomatoes to transport them. They'll pick them, and then they gas them, and it stops the ripening of the tomato. And so basically you have like $8 worth of tomatoes here that came in this fancy little tray, and they say, open air pollinated fucking heirloom tomato or whatever. They're all misshapen and everything, but they're super firm. They have a little smell to them, but not like a tomato you take out of the garden. So they've tricked you. They've got some nice packaging that looks, more natural, and they've got this misshapen tomato, but it has no flavor to it whatsoever. So, Colin's back.
What's up, guys?
That's it? That's all you got? What's up, guys?
Let's hear about it.
What, about the trip?
Yeah. No, how's your house?
I am moving in there.
I know.
No, it was awesome. I had a great, great wedding, great honeymoon. Thanks. Surprisingly enough, like I had tons and tons of people that watch us and like SOE, customers saying congratulations on the Tactical Pablo page. Like I didn't even think to.
Did you run into anybody in? Yeah, we had them on SOE too.
Yeah.
Did you run into anybody in Florida knew you?
I didn't. That was the one place I've been in a while where like someone wasn't like, hey, I know you, but honestly, like I was telling Amanda, I think everyone down there is so busy being happy and being outside that they don't do a lot else. Like it was a different group of people. Like I think down there, I only ran into 2 people that were like seemed even slightly disgruntled.
But
about
now
life.
you were staying in a timeshare resort thing, right?
Yeah,
with everybody else that was on vacation as well, right? Pretty much, or
well, some of the people live there.
Right.
But yeah, the timeshare thing, the Emerald Grand is a luxury line hotel that you can go and stay there. It's depending on when, just like anywhere else, the price fluctuates on the time of year. Right now, I think it's about a little over $500 a night. But we got lucky. Her uncle is a Wyndham owner and decided for our wedding present he would give us a week-long stay there, and we just happened to end up in a 3-bedroom suite overlooking the harbor. It was amazing, but the hotel itself is awesome. Like you've got a 5-star restaurant downstairs that's open all the time. They're always making something. You've got a complete spa, a gym, 2 pools.
Did you use the gym?
I did every day.
I saw you.
We were up by 7:30 every morning in the gym by 8, no less.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like we didn't miss a day, which was cool because we haven't done that in a long time.
We haven't missed any.
We haven't been in the gym in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we haven't.
I just told him we didn't miss a day either.
Oh, I didn't hear. Lance didn't miss a day, but I haven't been to the gym in 2 weeks.
But it was fun for that. They have a private taxi, which is a pontoon boat, that takes you to the private Emerald Grand Beach, back and forth anytime you want. You can order room service to the beach. Was cool because we did that just because it felt
right.
You totally don't have to do that. You could just ride a taxi back, and it's much cheaper. You don't spend as much money. But anyway.
Well, you'll be happy to know that we're putting an island in our pond, and we will have a pontoon boat also, kind of, but you pedal it to the pond.
It's a paddle boat. I did watch the videos, and John didn't believe I caught big fish, but we did catch some decent fish. We caught almost 100 pounds of fish. This is my first time ever saltwater fishing. So I really wanted to do that because me and Mallory got into it. I didn't know she liked to fish. Then I took her around here. We live close to the Kentucky Lake. Everyone fishes down here. And it ends up she really likes it. So I was like, well, we should try
salt. That's like a pro bass fisherman. Yeah.
And so like I wanted to try saltwater because I knew that was totally different. And I'm sure y'all had both done it before. Which that's a whole different game. We went to Destin Bay Charters. Our captain was Captain Justin. who was awesome.
I like him.
Dude, he was really, really cool. Because I bet that job kind of sucks sometimes. Because he took us out. Your minimum buy-in is for 4.5 hours.
That's a half-day boat.
Yeah, and you can do 8 hours if you want.
Yeah.
But it's just us and him. And it's usually, because it's one of the smaller boats, so they're a little faster, nimble, and they go around a little faster. So, but you don't have to fight the crowd. So you pay a little more because you're just an individual.
Sure.
But I bet sometimes it's a little stressful. What if you get, what if you get a couple on board that starts to fight?
You do.
You do.
You know, or like, what if you get someone on there that's just a dick and thinks he knows everything about fishing? Like, I felt like the way he treated us, I was like, man, like, you're pretty good. Like, I bet he just sits and waits for that customer.
You should have told him.
Except then you're trapped at sea. We talked about it for a while.
I'll bet you heard all kinds of shit.
Yeah, I did. I asked him. I said, so how often do you get someone in here that you like kind of want to put overboard? And he kind of was like, I can't really say anything about that, but you know.
You don't know the boat. Growing up, I had a friend, Brian Smith, and Jeremy Smith lived at the end of my street. There was 10 houses on the street up into the cul-de-sac right across from the elementary school. Jerry Weston will know who I'm talking about, and his father owned day boats and half-day boat and 2-day boats. And like, I remember in junior high and shit in high school, these guys always had cool shit. Always were able to they always had stuff you wanted. And they worked. They worked all fucking summer long. They worked weekends, and they were on half-day boats. And that's what they did. They motor out and fucking fish in the kelp beds, take dudes out constantly. And I went out a couple times with them and went down, you know, when they were working on the boat and shit. And these dudes go out on these boats for fucking weeks at a time during the summer and literally just live in these boats. Just like you see on the fishing shows.
Alaska and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're on much smaller boats.
Yeah.
Which means they're fucking, when there's bad sea, they're getting tossed around. And there's a lot of other, it's not just fucking taking dudes out and catching fish. For every hour you're motoring, you're working on that fucking boat for an hour.
Yep. I asked him what the maintenance was like. He was like, it's work. He said, he's like, boats are a lot more, like, they take more beating than a car. He said, because you're covered in salt for one, so you definitely have to clean stuff a lot more. And he was like, this harbor, so I didn't know this. He said the Destin harbor that we were staying in is one of the most dangerous harbors because of the high traffic. Like, that harbor goes on and on and on. And when we came in at one point, like, I've never driven a boat, so I didn't know anything about it. But so we're, like John said, we're on a small boat, and you catch wakes. Like, whenever big waves would come, he'd spin it real quick, and we'd spin and take it this way. And like, he would always cross over. And like, I was watching him, and like, you know, he's fast at it. But I was like, shit. I was like, I would have already been capsized by now, just because I don't know how to handle a boat like that. He's sitting there talking and just winding away and doing all this stuff. And it was really impressive just to see. Like, he wasn't just like, they didn't call you captain because you just, someone gave you a captain back. You actually have to do a bunch of hours. Like, and I understand why, because, you know, the boats are expensive. Injury and liability insurance for those companies, I bet, is outrageous.
Yeah, and you got to get different licenses for different tonnage.
Yeah, like, it was crazy. And but I was really glad I went with the private one as the like, they have the big ones, but you go in with like 40 strangers for like $70. I paid way more than $70, but I got way more worth it.
Sure.
And I mean, we sat down for an hour of it and talked with him and listened to music, and we brought a bunch of like meat wraps, and we just talked and hung out on the boat and like 5 miles out. We couldn't even see land anymore, and I was like, Mallory's like, how far are we out? He goes, I don't know, about 7 miles or something. She's like, what happens if something happens out here? He goes, well, it's a long swim. And he was like, we don't want to talk about that kind of stuff.
One of those shark movies.
Yeah, that's what Mallory's like. This is just how open water starts. But so that was awesome. We did take a Sea Blaster tour, which was really fun. You would like that. Yeah. It's just lots of music and a dolphin tour, which you might think that's kind of boring because you used to live in the ocean. But it was just a lot of music and people and free booze for 2 hours.
See the dolphin rapes?
I didn't. So I was waiting. I remember you telling me about that. I YouTubed that. Like,
that's real.
Dolphins will hump you.
Yeah. Dolphins will rape. It happens all the time in Florida at the dolphin experience.
Yeah.
But
it happens enough that there are many videos about it happening.
Yeah. But we didn't see. So we saw the regular dolphins, like flipper dolphins, up in the bay. But when we went out on the Sea Blaster, we saw the speckled ones, or there's something else, right?
The spinners or whatever.
Yeah, they're smaller and
going back to the
No, you're good.
Going back to the guide thing, I have a buddy, or a guy I know that is a fishing guide in Hawaii, and he's a captain, and everything else, and he thinks, talking about weird people, he has a customer from Japan who's very well off, who comes over there all the time and goes out with him fishing and stuff.
Well, Japan owns Hawaii.
Right. Well, the Japanese guys,
Yeah.
the Japanese guy's also transgender or transsexual or whatever. You know. He's a dude with a dick and tits, basically.
Oh.
And so, and he likes to parade around in his bikini and
Does
stuff.
he sit out there topless?
Yeah.
Are they?
He parades around and stuff and wants to help my buddy Mike clean the boat in his bikini and shit like that and everything else.
Oh my god.
But he pays a lot of money and stuff, you know.
So you have to let him.
Right, but I mean, I guess he's a decent guy and everything, but just, you know, whatever.
He's a decent guy, he's just got tits.
And Mike owns his own boat and everything, so. But he was like, he told me this one time, he's like, and I'm not going to say the Japanese guy's name, he goes, you know, I don't mind your lifestyle and everything on the boat, and I enjoy your company and stuff, this is cool, but could you please put your dick back in your bikini?
Golly. Yeah, I bet that would be a little shocking if there was a girly
hanging out looking like he sat in bubble gum. Yeah.
So Amanda went to get egg whites, and we had to get this other brand, and they only had 3 cartons. That's the gimmick.
Because you guys started
damn
buying them.
Walmart. If you fucking, we buy enough shit, we will go into Walmart and buy everything they have. No restock, we'll buy all of it again. We'll buy it all, and then we'll quit carrying.
And they're like, fuck that, they're creating work for us.
Yeah, that's the kind of we get.
Dude, you think?
Yeah. Sorry, so you speckled the dolphins and stuff.
I was trying to think of if there's anything like else. Say, oh yeah, it kind of sucked. Though. I was glad we didn't pay for snorkeling or snuba because the private beach for the Emerald Grand is there.
Right.
They bring all those people there.
Nice.
Which was cool. So we didn't have to pay for that.
Right there.
Yeah, so we just
Did
went
they
out
have
and did
equipment you could borrow and stuff and use? Or?
I already had a snorkel and fins,
Okay.
and I bought Mallory some.
Right on.
But so it's really tricky. They call it the Emerald Grand, and like a lot of the Emerald Coast or whatever, is because it turns in Destin turns like a bright green,
Greenish.
clear color.
Right.
Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, it's not that color. Because it's
that's when they take the pictures of the
you,
place.
yeah,
and
you
stuff,
know
right?
about that, like the tide thing. So I didn't understand tides, and like,
Yeah.
everyone was like, there was a chart every day on the dock, so
What
you
the
know when to
visibility's
go out,
like and
stuff like
everything,
that.
exactly.
Visibility and everything.
Yeah, and it would change. Like you would go. We went out when we went fishing. That was the prettiest we'd seen it, and we weren't even in the water. But you could see the ocean floor forever.
Yeah.
But
You see starfish, like beds of starfish, like a mile worth. Fucking.
no, I didn't see that.
They'll do the starfish when they're alive. Not starfish, sand dollars.
Sand dollars.
Well,
I was going to say sand
they
dollars.
I looked for
like
sand dollars
vertical in the
forever.
sand, and there'll be hundreds of them.
Oh,
I
yeah.
looked forever.
When
for
we used to do
sand dollars.
hydros off of Red Beach all the time, you go down about, between 15 and 20 feet, dive down and grab, you know, some bottom sample and see what the bottom composition is like. And you just come up with just a handful of sand dollars.
Well, I looked forever. I looked all day one day because I was going to bring back a bunch of sand dollars, and I found the biggest chunks of sand dollars I've ever seen because that storm was blowing in.
Uh-huh.
And the day before we left, like there were sand dollars I'd never seen that big, but it was only like a piece of them. You know, like I was
Right.
like, if I could find some of those, that'd be so awesome. And I snorkeled all up and down. We went out from the private beach. You can walk out probably about 200 or 300 yards
Mm-hmm.
to the actual
Is there a
coastline.
reef out there and everything, or
They
or it's
call
just kind of like a wave break?
yeah. Well, they have wave breaks before the Emeralds little thing.
Mhm.
When you go out there, you're just in open ocean. It's just the beach. But the jetties is what they call that right next to where we stayed, and that's where you can go see a lot of fish
Yeah.
and stuff. But to get out to the waves, we had to walk a bit. But we went down there, and the first day, like I'm pretty sure the red flags were out. I didn't look at it and notice they were down that way. Because the first day we got there to boogie board and stuff, you know, like no one was in the water. And we're like, what's the matter? And we looked at the waves, and we're like, that looks fun. So we went marching off in there. Well, other people did come in after that because we weren't dying. But like, we got tumbled pretty hard, like on more than one
You hit
occasion.
the bottom, try to.
Like my head hit the bottom and like got shoved into the sand. Like my head was
Yeah.
probably half buried. I was like, I wonder if I'm gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember getting rolled across the bottom
Yeah.
of the sand, so I'd be like, all right, which way are the bubbles going? That's the way I need to go.
yep. On more than one occasion, it happened to me and Mallory, but it was funny to watch it happen to Mallory when she was boogie boarding. Like, I would all of a sudden see feet, and like it would be rolling her, and I'd see the next one crashing behind her. I was like, oh, she's getting a good one now.
Right?
And she'd come up, she was like, like joking, because the water's
just
really
ate
only
the
about
bottom.
this deep,
Yeah.
but the wave itself looks way bigger.
Yeah.
So it was pretty legit.
Awesome.
You can do some readings.
We had a dude order a belt yesterday with a sales code, and then he emailed me and said, "How long will this belt take?" And I said, "Well, it says right there in the email you just sent me 8 to 12 weeks." And he said, "Fine, just cancel and refund this order." I said, "All right, canceled and refunded." He said it didn't say that anywhere. I said, "Canceled and refunded." I said, it says it right in the fucking email reply you just sent me back. It said it on the last page. Checkout says it in shipping, priorities and terms. And this dude lives in Franklin, Tennessee, 90 minutes from here. So he said, thanks for the shitty customer service. And I said, motherfucker, not only does it fucking say that, you're on our Facebook page and used a discount code so you knew how this works. We talk about it all the time. So he goes out on a closed Facebook group, Glock World. I'd never heard of it. So I start getting screenshots. I go in there. By the time I got there, he had gone through and erased all his replies. But a bunch of dudes saved. It had gone on for 2-3 hours before I saw it.
People screenshotting it,
fucking screenshotted it and put it on the closed SOE group, fans group. And that dude was just, I don't know what his fucking problem. He's like, well, I only went to them. I heard they had shitty customer service. I only went to them for their Walmart prices. I've got this other gear brand belt that's way better anyway. Stomps the shit out of SOE on any day. And dudes are like, well, why are you trying to order an SOE belt?
Right.
So I said, hey, way to be a fucking bitch and go talk shit on a closed forum. And then as soon as fucking people start dogpiling you, erasing your shit, he goes, never email me again. I go, or what, you fucking retard? I said, you live like 90 minutes from me. I'm there all the time. It is only a matter of time till somebody else I fucking know says you were talking shit. And sure as shit, I got 2 emails this morning from dudes like, hey, I know exactly who that dude is. And you were right. He was talking shit.
Yeah, you can't really hide on Facebook anymore because screenshot takes all of 2 seconds. Like, once you're posted, someone's going to screenshot.
You get caught in the nets of the internet.
It happened.
And you can't edit it either because it'll say edited on there, and you can click the edited one and see what they changed.
It happened on Instagram twice over the weekend. I put up a picture. I was leaving.
Yeah, I saw the watch
At like 10 o'clock at night on Saturday or whatever, and I said, hey, fucking, we worked this weekend. We shipped fucking 100 boxes just in half a day. I cut fucking hundreds of belts, had bins of them. I said, our shipping times are getting faster. We're getting way more caught up. Just a heads up for you motherfuckers, you other belt dudes. There's a couple like 1- and 2-man shops constantly talking shit. And I said, we're coming after your customers. I go, but don't worry, because we fire enough of them. You can have our shitty customers that we don't want. And some guy got up there and said, man, you have the fucking worst customer service. And anyways, I click on his name. It's 2 letters and something. Well, it said his fucking name. So I pull his name up. I go, oh, you're so-and-so from, I don't remember what police sheriff's office it was. And I said, this you? Here's your fucking order number. I go, is this you? And all of a sudden he changed all his shit to private. And
yeah, because he wasn't paying attention and didn't realize everyone in the world could see it.
He talked a little more shit. I said, I'll bet it's only a matter of time till somebody you know fucking emails me and says, you're not even a fucking sheriff, you're a fucking dispatch dude or something. And he talked a little more shit. That motherfucker went back and deleted all. I told him early on, I go, you should probably go delete your post before this goes in a direction that you don't fucking want it to go. And, because I wasn't going to fucking delete his shit. I'd make him do it.
Yeah.
And he did. The next morning all his shit was gone. But some fat chick showed up in the same thread, who my guess is probably his chick. Her name was Loving You, Loving Me is what she posts as on Instagram. And she got on there saying, you have a really poor attitude. I was going to buy from you, but now I'm not. I used to root for you, and going on and on and on. And dudes are like, you weren't going to buy shit anyways. If you take issue with this post, you're exactly the person we are weeding out. We want you to not buy from us because you will go to our competitors and bog them down. You will fucking slow those gears up. And she kept going and going and going. I look at her fucking pictures, and like her first fucking 25 pictures are Mountain Dew has released some new drink. And there's some new Mountain Dew drink. She had fucking all these bottles of fucking Mountain Dew and flats of fucking Mountain Dew. You'd think that bitch, you'd think she'd have won the fucking...
Diabetes! Woo!
You'd have thought she'd have won the Mountain Dew contest. So she comes back the next day talking some more shit. And I said, look, again, you were on my page. I didn't come to your page and talk shit or post. You took issue with what I said. I said, I wouldn't ask you for business advice, just like I wouldn't ask you for health advice. Go worry about your fucking diabetes, and I'll worry about my fucking business management. But the Instagram thing's growing. It's fucking...
Yeah, I saw that was going up pretty fast.
Yeah, and the only thing that's changed on Instagram is shit talkers are showing up because they go out and talk shit, and then all their buddies see that
Come
they're
check it
posting
out.
over there.
Yep. Instagram definitely goes in waves. Like you'll just come.
We had a bunch of dudes after the video. I said we can't really, we're limited. We have to really tone it down on Facebook, but Instagram's a fucking the Wild West still. There's no. I haven't ever received.
Where men go to die.
I haven't ever received a notification or a ban on Instagram. So dudes are like, oh, Instagram. I guess I got to start an Instagram.
Yeah, because Instagram's honestly, you can type in just about anything and it'll pop up on Instagram. Like there's outright really bad stuff on Instagram.
I did not know that.
No, well now you do because you can do videos on Instagram now.
Right. No, I do videos on Instagram.
I bet you do.
Yeah. I got a hater this weekend.
Good job.
Yeah.
What is it?
In Nashville. Fucking
Like an actual person?
Yeah. And it's a good thing I couldn't reach through the glass.
This is kind of a reoccurring thing with you though. The last time you were in Nashville, something happened too.
Yeah, with the car.
You almost got in a gunfight or.
Oh yeah, with that deal, yeah. No, this was Saturday night. Went and got a hotel room because didn't want to drive back because wanted to go do some things on Sunday as well. And checked in, paid for the room and everything, and declared Rocco my service dog and stuff, and got up to the room, got in bed, and the phone rings. And it's the front desk lady, and I'm like, yeah. She said, yeah, the owner, my boss, wants you to bring your dog down, wants to see your dog, doesn't believe that it's a service dog. And so I said, are you kidding me? And she's like, no. I said, okay. So I got up, got dressed, went back down there, and I walk in to the little deal there, and he looks at me and he goes, no, you're not disabled. That's not a service dog. And I went, excuse me? And I started showing my paperwork, and he goes, no, get out. We've already closed the lock so your key won't work on the door.
Oh, shit.
And everything, yeah.
Is your shit all in there?
Yeah, it was. And he says, get out, you gotta leave. I said, okay, motherfucker, under the ADA of 1990, you're allowed to ask me 2 questions. 1, if I'm a disabled person, which I've already told you, and 2, whether that's a service animal that provides a service for me, a function. I said, you haven't even asked those questions. I said, you can't ask. I know the law, I'm very well, da-da-da, get out, da-da-da-da. He says, you're going to leave now, I'm going to call the cops. I said, you know what, I think you better call the police. So we sat outside. They turned the keys back on so we could get our stuff out of the room. Sat outside and waited for like 2.5 hours for the police to show up. And motherfucker wouldn't ever come back down and everything, wouldn't ever say anything. Police got there like, yeah, he fucked up. I said, yeah, he violated my civil rights all sorts of ways.
Yeah.
And
yeah, he fucked up.
And yeah, no,
yeah,
3 different police officers like, and I said, yeah, and he won't give me won't refund me my money.
Oh shit, there's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, won't refund me my money and everything, and so I
How'd you pay?
with cash because their credit card machine doesn't work and they only take cash, which I'm sure is a lie. But just from this goober head, the girl that works the front desk she was all upset about it and stuff because she's like, because I was like, hey, I'm not mad at you, but I want you to get that little simple bitch back down here, like, and I want to talk to him. And she's like, hey, I was on the streets when I got this job, and that's how I have a place to live is because I work here. She's like, I don't want any part of this, and da-da-da. I'm like, all right, whatever, but, so, yeah, he's, yeah.
So did you have to leave?
No, they offered me my room back and stuff, and they didn't want to give me the refund without me giving them my receipt, because they wanted proof that I wasn't there, because it was a cash transaction, and that would have been the only thing I had. So I took a fucking picture of it and everything, and said, boom, give me my money.